Morning everybody. It's been a few days since I've been around actually. I've had a few things to do. I'm another year older, which is putting me extraordinarily close to that 70 years and 10. And that sunny stretch has come to an end, and now it's cloudy, it's rained a bit, it's fresh, it's beautiful. The paths through the fields that were wide are now hardly discernible. The grass has grown extraordinarily in a matter of days. It's beautiful out, it's calm, it's quite mild actually, it's quite warm. I think it augurs well for a bit of a muggy day. But it is nice, there's hardly anyone out except me and Molly. A few people in the distance over there I can see, with dogs. But it's just us, and it's beautiful, and it's the British countryside. And I'm happy. Well, I say I'm happy, but I went to my mum's yesterday, and this is something I've thought about for a while. I was taking her for a doctor's appointment. Anyway, when we got back, she wanted to get the NHS app for her iPad. Now, I've got it, and I knew it was a bit of a bugger to fill in, and I had to get information off the doctor and all things like that. But I'm quite clued up when it comes to computers. Always have been. But my mum is in her mid-90s, and I really got very, very annoyed. It was impossible. She was faffing about. The information they wanted off her was unbelievable, and it went on, and it's information that you've not got at your fingertips, and they were saying like, press this, press that, do this, do that, enter this, you will get a code now on your mobile phone number, do this, do that. And then in the end, we sat there, and then it said, oh, right, and this was an hour, at least an hour, and it said, oh, right, you have set up your account. All we need now is to verify your identity. And it was asking for things like driving licence, take a photograph and send your driving licence, do this, do that. She's 95, she let her driving licence lapse years ago. Passport, she hasn't had a passport, she's not travelled, she travelled all over the globe for many, many years, but hasn't for about 15-20 years because she's just not sprightly enough. She's a little old lady, and she sat there and she burst into tears. And I was so annoyed, and I thought, is there an element of ageism going on here? This programme was probably put together by some 18-year-old oik who's grown up with computers all his life and doesn't know any different, and it's like second nature to them, it's another skin. But my mum was born in the 1920s. It's not second nature. She does her best, she's very clued up, she's very bright, she's with it. Not a lot of people are at that age, and I kind of think, and I kind of started getting my conspiracy theory hat on, and I thought, what's happening here? Are people, is society realising that there are too many old people about nowadays, and they are deliberately excluding them from services by making it too difficult for them to access them? And the only reason my mum wants to go on this is because she has to ring the doctor. She's stone deaf, she has a cochlear implant, she can only just hear. She has to phone the surgery. She can be on the phone for 2 hours waiting. She can't do that. She's a little old lady, but she can use computers. She's quite good. She has Amazon Prime, and she orders all stuff. She does all the shopping online, blah, 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 stuff like that. But stuff like this, it is just so difficult, almost impossible for older people to do it. And I believe that society, whether it realises it or not, is ageist. Are we trying to cull our old people? I'm really, really annoyed. I felt desperately sorry for her. What do you think? And like I say, I think a lot of this stuff is being put together by a generation that just hasn't a clue and will just say, oh, well, just do this, just do that, just press this, just go on Teams, do this, you know, FaceTime, which she does and she's great at, but when you start talking about fairly complicated things, she's not up to it, and it's desperate. And I don't want to see her so upset in her final years all the time and frustrated, because it's like, I get frustrated with her because then she's sitting and it'll say like, put your email in here, and I start going, put your bloody email in, put your email in. She just sits there with the finger dithering over the screen, and then she'll press the wrong thing, and then she'll press another button, everything goes black and she's lost everything, and she ends up in tears. She ends up spending a lot of time in tears because she's frustrated, because modern day will not help her. The modern day is making my 90-year-old mum cry, and I'm bloody annoyed about it. You young people out there, when you design these sites, all these 90-odd-year-old people, they're not all gamers and coders. Think about it, you inconsiderate little gits. God, I've got myself all annoyed now. And I shouldn't do because it's a beautiful day. Molly's had a haircut. We're walking under trees now, that's why I keep ducking down, because it's rained last night and there's dew dripping off the trees. Drops of water falling on my head, but it's quite pleasant. And if you look at the greenery around me, isn't it bloody lush and green and fabulous? We're coming up to July, I'll be doing another diary soon, and it's just changed again. And can you remember, or anybody who's watched these videos since I started putting them out at the beginning of the year, how it's changed? It's warm and muggy. It's almost equatorial out here. And when we first came out, it was frosting cold, polar frost. And now, it's gorgeous. It's so warm that Molly, when I got Molly a haircut, she was jumping about like mad because she felt cooler. Cut back to you in a minute. Anyway, rant over. I hope everyone's okay. Hope you do manage to get out in the countryside in the fresh air, if you're in the UK or wherever you are in the world, because it is gorgeous. The birds are singing, and the sound, it's so still. The sound of the birds cuts through. It's clear and crisp and nice. Lots of squirrels running about. Can you hear the birds? Beautiful. Get out in the countryside. Live your best life. Be like me and Moll, living our best lives. We're going to carry on now. Hope you didn't mind me having a bit of a rant. Have a great day, have a great week, have a great life. We'll see you on the flip. Peace and love.